Our next guest is television host and best-selling author whose new book, The Escape Artist, is available Tuesday. Please welcome back to the show, Brad Meltzer, everyone. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me back.
This book is immediately gripping. There is a plane crash in Alaska, a small plane. There is a victim. A mortician goes to work, figures out that the person who's supposed to be dead isn't actually dead, and the person is the artist in residence for the United States
Military, yeah. No,
Okay.
what people don't realize is, and I didn't know, is that since World War I, the government, the Army, has had an actual artist, a painter on staff who races into disasters and paints them. So whether it's the beaches of Normandy, whether it's Vietnam, whether it's 9/11, they were there painting of all things. And it's crazy. And when I heard about it, I was like, I need to meet this person because that sounds like the craziest job in the world,
Sure.
right? Like everyone's running in with the guns, and there's someone who's running in with nothing but paintbrushes in their pockets.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to meet that person. They're crazy. And I said, I got to meet him. And they said, you mean her? You got to meet her. And I was like, I totally need to meet her. And that became the basis of NOLA, right? Is this amazing, strong woman who's just clawing her way back.
How long do people serve as the artist in residence for the military?
Right, and it depends when you're done, when you're telling your story. And I love that, in the midst of all this fighting, that, we can send videographers, we can send photographers, but what they do is they take pictures. What a painter does is they tell a story.
Yeah.
And I love the idea that even amidst all this war, we're actually trying to learn. It doesn't seem like it, today, but we are actually trying to learn. And I love that. That inspires me.
You talk, Harry Houdini comes up in this book and his connection to the Secret Service. This is a true thing.
This is true. In 1898, a man named John Ilbert Wilkie was in charge of the Secret Service. He was a friend of Harry Houdini. He also loved doing magic himself, and he was a magician. It's the only time in history that a magician is in control of the Secret Service. And I friggin' love that.
Yeah,
right? Like that's page one of the book. That's literally page one. I've ruined, I'm sorry, page one for all of you out there. But the truth is it made me realize Harry Houdini did amazing work for the government. And he could go anywhere. He could literally go into any place because they were like, oh, Harry Houdini, come on in. And then he could actually call back and say, want to know how, this great, whether it's the White House or anywhere else, but in a foreign country, what their layout is, where their security is. And I'm like, that's an amazing spy to have.
Oh, so just from being a celebrity and going to different rooms, he could come to the table and say,
yeah,
this
no,
is all
listen,
the stuff.
I mean, I can tell you one time I got invited to the White House myself, and I walked in and out. I went to a private lunch there, and I walked in and out, and no one said a word. No one looks twice at me because I'm the novelist. People read their books. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like Harry Houdini. I'm the perfect spy. Like and I put myself in a water tank. And
Yeah. You, obviously another main character is a mortician. Did you spend time with morticians?
I did, and it's morticians. It can be obviously a depressing subject, and this mortician in the book actually finds a hidden note in someone's body, and the note has a secret on it, and they got to figure it out. But morticians can be really depressing, but they're also, listen, they're human, so they're funny, right? So bodies do weird things, like they fart and they poop, and like when you embalm something, body parts become bigger, you get a giant penis.
Oh,
and
wow.
it made me realize that it's not until I'm dead that someone's gonna say, Brad, you have a giant penis.
Yeah.
Right? And by the way, can I just stop a moment, right? Like, this is supposed to be the smart show.
Yeah.
And you have an audience full of an Einstein convention, you got half of Harvard on your writing staff, and I just killed by saying the word giant penis.
Oh, yeah, no.
It was the best laugh I got
They've been
tonight.
waiting for that all night.
Literally, thank you.
They've been waiting for that all night.
I appreciate that. No, thank you.
I also want to talk about a line of books you do completely separate for this for kids called Ordinary People. Explain that real quick and how they become very popular recently. Not that they weren't popular before, but there's been a bit of a spike.
Yeah, no, I started a line of children's books with my buddy Chris Eliopoulos. We did I Am Amelia Earhart, I Am Abraham Lincoln. I did I Am Lucille Ball for my daughter because I wanted her to have a female entertainment hero who isn't just famous for being thin and pretty. That Lucy stands for the idea, it's not just okay to be different, it's spectacular to be different. And I love that we've done these books, but something interesting happened as the election approached. As Donald Trump got elected, 2 books of ours started shooting up. And it was I Am George Washington and I Am Martin Luther King Jr. And it wasn't a Democrat or Republican thing, it was that parents on both sides were tired of turning on the TV and seeing politicians. What they wanted to show their kids were leaders. And I love the idea that in the midst of all the chaos in the country right now, that parents are fighting back. that they're tired of, we all know there's a difference between a politician and a leader. And whether it's I Am Harriet Tubman or, that we just put out, or any of the I Am Rosa Parks, I love that parents are saying, you know what, here's what's happening in the world, but I need to teach my kids values that are lost right now. Compassion and decency, humility. Remember what that meant? Like, remember when people were humble, right? I mean, and that's like a foreign word now. And I love that parents are building libraries of real heroes for their kids and their grandkids, their nieces and their nephews with the books.
Well, thank you so much for writing those. Thank you so much for writing this. Always great to have you here. Always. Brad Meltzer, everybody, The Escape Artist is available Tuesday. We'll be right back.